Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's Monday, July 2nd, and I've got watermelon and melons here. I need to get into the ground. They're starting to get beat up in these little cells here. Thought I just saw a honeybee on the flower over here. Maybe not. Usually see the bumblebees, but I'm going to put a couple of posts in the ground and then use some of the green garden fencing that I have sitting around, and maybe put some ground cover down too, and also put some in the ground. But if I put weed block down, the tendrils have nothing to grab onto, so I might just lay down some of the garden wire on top of the weed block so they have something to hang on to. But then I was wondering what happens when a melon or a watermelon forms sitting on top of the wire. Might end up with those, yeah, there is I don't know if that was going for it. Might have been going for the water. I just put out some water for the honeybees near the hive, the nuke box, because it's that hot that the bees now are looking for water. But yeah, let me get these in the ground today. I need to get these in the ground. I just noticed there's a miniature, or there's a watermelon forming right here already, or a melon. So I have to get this on the ground now. So I might put a couple of posts here because I was thinking I didn't want to interfere in the flight path of the bees when they're coming in. And then over here, I've got to remove these peas, and I use that plastic or nylon trellis there to put something in, cantaloupe or the watermelons, and then I'm cleaning up this area here from the weeds. So maybe put some ground cover down. I keep saying ground cover. I'll put some weed block down and plant them. Put some plants in over here. You can see what the difference a couple of days in the 90s makes to the peas. So the peas are done. Need to take out these snow peas and then use that trellis for some of the cantaloupe. Here's what's inside the pea pods. Nice fresh peas. Oregon giant snow peas. Okay, this is what I've got so far. And I did some weeding. There are all these weeds hidden in there. And I was thinking of pulling the sage out. Look how large these sage plants are. And then it dawned on me, I can just cut it back. I mean, look how large that plant is. It's got to be 2 feet across, 3 feet across actually. Yeah, so you can see there, the widest part, it's about 3 feet spread there. So I don't even use sage. Sort of split these plants up. And I was just looking online. It's pretty easy to dry. You can do it in the microwave, you can do it in the oven, or you can do it outside in a dry place or in a dry room. I bet you these would dry real quick in the shed. I think it's 109 degrees in the shed right now. I don't have any, I have to put some ventilation up at the eave, up at the peak. A couple of vents. It just gets too hot in there. But yeah, I can just cut these back, open this area up. So you can see here I cut back the sage, a little timid at first with this one. I cut that all the way back down. And then that one there I hacked all the way down. I did that in the spring with the woody stems that were starting to sprout new growth. And yeah, don't let the plants dictate how the bed's going to be planted. You know, for myself, I tend to want to keep every plant and then I find these volunteer plants. I just noticed there's a tomato plant in the carrots here, volunteer, and you can see over here there is some African basil. I cut back the two plants. These are sage plants that I kept on dividing, so I keep on multiplying the amount of plants I have. And you know, you don't have to pull them out completely. You just cut them back and reveal a lot of weeds. There was some earwigs underneath there too. So I left a little on there that had the flowers because I noticed the bees were on some of the flowers there on that stage. And just like, you know, you can see the dill, this is all volunteer dill. And sometimes you just have to pull it out because it's interfering with how you want your bed planted. I know I find myself doing that. So I cleaned up, well, it looks like this weed here was keeping up this dill. Maybe stake that. But I want to put the cantaloupe here. I've got some cantaloupe. Let's see, it was number 10, which is Sierra Gold. So this is ready for some cantaloupe. And that's the plants right there. No, over there. Sierra Gold. Alright, so I've got some cantaloupe, Sierra Gold in the ground. Did some weeding, did some plant management, I guess. Don't be afraid to make changes. So hopefully I'll get some cantaloupe out of those. I wonder what these carrots are up to. Let's see, let's take the one in the middle here. Oh, there's a nice baby carrot. Charge a lot of money for that in a fancy restaurant. So that's where the carrots are. I think the radishes needed to come up a while ago. If there's any left in here. See, this is like the perfect spot for those earwigs. For this uncontrolled growth here. It's actually flopping over. Thought I had some more radishes in there. I guess there's just some over here. I've seen some red tops. Huh. See, they're getting crowded out, so there's nothing going on with the radishes. Oh yeah, okay, over at this end here. I'll pull all these out. These need to come out. Here's another example with this cat mint. I need to move that. It's still in cells. So here's some radishes crowded together. Nice breeding area for slugs and earwigs. Okay, some radishes. Time to get these out. And the weeds mixed in. The daikon radishes have really spread out. I noticed some leaves getting shoot up, so oh yeah, right there. See that? The weeds. So that's another reason to make sure to thin things out. It's not only good for the plant, the vegetable that you're growing, but it makes it harder for insects to hide. Got some serious chewing on the leaves going on here. probably hiding. Probably have a load of slugs underneath all these catmint here. Come out at night. So there's a white top right there. I think I'll take out this and see what the state of these daikon radishes are. Oh, not too much of a resistance there, so it's not too big. That's a daikon radish. Never had a daikon radish. So I moved the catmint, and I knew this is what I was going to find. I thought I squished them all, but you can see all the slugs that were underneath the pots. I gave them all a haircut first, but they had grown through the pots, so I had to cut them off at the roots. But I've got all these slugs here. Hopefully we'll dry up in the sun now. Well, I'm going to squish them anyways. So this is New England gardening. Cleaned up the raised bed there. Planted some cantaloupe. Hope to get some watermelons in the ground tomorrow. And for now, I have some shelling I have to do. I've got some radishes and a daikon radish. That'd be interesting to find out what it tastes like. Oh, let me taste it right now. Tastes like a spicy radish. Wow. Also, wow. No, that's like really sharp. Wow, really peppery. Yeah, a lot more peppery than, almost hot. Wow. Yeah, a little bit more peppery and hot than a radish with a radish taste. Alright, so these are the peas that I'm going to have tonight. Wow, that is hot, spicy. So this is New England gardening. Thanks for watching.